All right. Hi, I'm Jennifer from EntryLevel. EntryLevel helps you learn and get experience so that you can get hired. And today I'm joined by Modesta, one of EntryLevel's previous students. Modesta received a product management certificate with us and got an internship, or not internship, but like you said, you were working part-time and doing so many cool things, but we'll get to that. So Modesta, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, please. Hi, my name is Modesta and I'm calling from Nigeria. And yeah, I got an internship for 6 months after my entry level course, and I kind of got it with my portfolio that I created for entry level towards the end of the course.
That's awesome. I'm so excited to hear more about your story. So let's just jump right into the questions. My first question for you is, tell us your story. What was your learning journey like?
Okay, so I think I'll start with what motivated me first. I kind of got interested about products earlier this year because I've been working behind products as a social media manager. I've been behind products, like marketing them as finished products. And I kind of got interested in tech, and I wanted to know more about technical products. And I wanted to know not just about how to market it as a finished product, but like the ideation and all of that. And I got really interested in it, but I was not able to like pick up any of the courses because some of them were quite expensive. So earlier this year, I think around April, May, I kind of got a scholarship from University for Good, and they were collaborating with Entry Level to give a beginner's product management course. And I kind of tried out. I didn't realize I was going to get the scholarship, and I did. And the course was quite enlightening. It was very easy to assimilate as someone who doesn't have any tech background whatsoever. It was quite easy to learn because not only would you be getting lessons, but you also be getting like insights from the product manager that is already doing the job. And there's also some like reading materials provided for you, links to reading materials for you to like read up on your own and just like get more ideas. Like it was very easy to assimilate. So I actually think that kind of, and having a background in marketing already kind of made it easier for me to just get on with the course and it's the first course I've ever completed ever in my life before. I usually start courses and then halfway I just get tired and get demotivated. But the entry level made it so interesting that you never get demotivated. You just want to see it through to the end.
That's so awesome because I took a product management program with EntryLevel too before I got hired here. And it was also the first course that I ever finished. Just because like one, I wanted my refund, and two, like the structure, it unlocked every few days. So I was like, oh, I have to keep up. And yeah.
Yes, the unlocking part I think that's the best part. You're just looking forward to what's going to be next. What and like other courses where you just see everything and like but this one you just don't know what's next. And after you're done with one, it's like an adventure. Yeah, it was quite nice.
Oh, that's such a good way of thinking about it because it really makes learning fun.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for sharing. I loved hearing your learning with EntryLevel, but I'm wondering, did you learn any things like outside of EntryLevel too?
Okay, so I think the entry level course like is I don't think the entry level course is complete. I think it's just to give you an insight of what product management is about, but it's not going to like make you become a product manager. You become a product manager after you've done learning the course, and then you start making your own researches and start working on your own mini side projects on your own. So entry level encouraged us to learn more about coding, HTML, CSS, and SQL. Just have basic ideas because I think one of the basic things that entry level that I love the most that it tells you that you don't need to have any of this experience to be a product manager. You don't need to be a UX designer to be a product manager. You don't need to be a developer, but you need to just have basic knowledge of what they entail. So it's kind of promoted that, and that got me hyped up to learn because it took off that edge, that pressure that I need to be good at this. in order to become better at become a better product manager. So I took some like basic courses on. Is it okay to call other course
Yeah, of
sites?
course.
Okay, so I took some basic courses on Allison for like basic coding courses, and then I'm currently enrolled in a Google course for project management, because I don't think there's any on Google on Coursera. So I'm currently enrolled in one now, and I just do know basic coding and know more about Agile, because the course also told us to read more about Agile and Scrum. So I've been like just reading some basic things about this, like just to add up to what I learned from EntryLevel.
Oh, that's awesome. Hopefully these resources will also be helpful for our students. I know Google also has the UX design program that's helpful.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I
Are you
want a
thinking of
financial
taking?
aid for that. Yes, I got a
Oh,
financial aid for that. So once I'm done with my track for project management, I'll be taking that next. So EntryLevel told us to create a plan for ourselves. So I did create a plan for myself, and I've been following that. So I think that also helped, like having a plan for learning plan of what you need to learn before the end of the year. And I did that, and I've been following that judiciously. I
yeah.
think
I've made
this.
It's awesome you have a learning plan, because I made some in the past, but I think I got overwhelmed with too many things to learn. So I'm actually wondering, like, how did you make your learning plan and actually stick with it?
Oh yes, okay. So I think we were advised to start with what I think it told us to find out what we are good at, like what we like. I think there was a formula for it. I don't know if it was EntryLevel or some other course that I did that told us to check to list out all you need to learn, all you need to know about product management. Then list like your preference from a scale of 1 to 10. Find out what you would like to learn, what you already know, and what you're not really good at but you think is essential. So then you prioritize, like based on your preference, 1 to 10. Then you prioritize what you think should be very like more important for you to learn. Even like what do you think is essential for you to learn? What do you think you would like to learn? And what do you think you already know and want to improve? So what you already know and would like to improve is not really that urgent. So you could I put that as last. And then what I think is very essential, like good, but I'm not very good at, I put that as first. And then what I think I'm good at, I really like to learn was project management. Very good at, I don't know, is UX design. So that was second. So I did that according to my 1 to 10, and then just arranged all the courses that I needed to, all the skills that I needed to learn as a product manager, and just did that like that.
Oh, that sounds like a really good way to prioritize. Thank you for sharing. But now I want to go more into the job search process. So what was that process like for you to land your internship?
Okay, so the job search process was a little bit hard because I wasn't sure precisely what I needed to do or what I needed to have as a project manager. So I did a little bit of research. Do I need a portfolio? Do I need to create a separate CV and stuff like that? So because I had no experience as a product manager, like trying to create a separate CV was not like out of it completely. And I really needed to like work with a mentor because I believe that and it was also advised during the course that we should find a mentor to work with, like to get practical experience outside of the courses. So like because learning is one thing and putting what you've learned is another thing. So I wasn't even looking for like, a full-time job. I was just looking for I wasn't even looking for an internship. I was just looking to shadow someone. So since I couldn't use my CV, nor could I use but could I create a portfolio to apply for jobs? I decided to just use the experience that I already have in conjunction with the course that I already took, because I create a portfolio for entry levels. As I usually use my normal CV and portfolio for product management to apply for jobs. So I got this internship by applying for a marketing role, but then I reached out personally to the hiring manager slash the president of startup, and I expressed my interest in trying to transition into a product management role, because I believe a product management role encompasses both marketing, UX, developer, and all of that. So I expressed that I could still be in charge of marketing, but I would just like to expand the role into more product management, and I would love to shadow the product owner. And I expressed that, and I shared my portfolio from EntryLevel, and they assessed it, and they got back to me, and they said that it's fine for me to transition. So, like the first week I started out marketing, but then I transitioned into product management the second week, and that's how I landed my role. So I used my experience in marketing to get the role as a product manager.
Wow, that's amazing. I feel like a lot of people don't know that you can use your current role to get the role you want, or that you can just ask and just make it known what you are interested in. Because you never know what opportunities may come if you don't ask, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So you already kind of talked about this, but what you did after EntryLevel was take a few courses and apply for jobs. But I'm wondering, like, how did you get the social media marketing role? Was it just through your CV?
Okay, now I will have to actually just shout out to a platform that a lot of
Of
people
course.
know. So there's this platform called Vower, VOWER, and I found this app last year on Instagram. So it's where um entry level or graduates looking to upskill or like get more experience. So they go to this app, provides the opportunity for you to upskill and intern, like do like random menial task or full blown internship through the app. So the app connects you to potential clients that need help with some certain tasks or maybe need an intern. And in return, because you don't get paid, you get paid in Vower points. So with the Vower points, you use it to purchase what you need on the marketplace. So I found because the platform is so great that you could learn a course and still be awarded a Vower point. And whatever course you complete will be under your profile. So people would actually see, okay, this is the courses and stuff you've learned, and these are the things you've done. Like it's kind of like your own portfolio as well. Why you still linking your LinkedIn and stuff like that? So I've been on that platform for a while, and I've been seeing lots of internship. Then I found this particular internship then came along, and it was for marketing, but I wasn't really like interested in doing a marketing role because currently I'm employed as a full-time social media manager. That's kind of marketing already on its own, and I didn't want to start exploring a marketing role. But then I did a research on the employer and found out that the marketing role was for a product, and I had never really like worked for a product, like a tech product before, digital product before. And I was really interested in that. And I just thought, oh, let me just apply for the marketing role. Let me see how a tech startup operates. Maybe to give me more insight and maybe also help with the product management course that I did. So during my interview for the marketing role, while speaking to the hiring manager slash president, I realized that I would actually love to explore this role as a product management role instead of marketing role. So when I was done with my interview for marketing, I kind of expressed it to them, and then I had another meeting again for product management, and then that's about it. So yeah, I found this role on Vower. It's not your typical place to find a job, but it did what it needed to do.
Wow, that's such a great adventure that you had there. So you were interested in marketing, but then got into marketing and then used that to get into PM because so were you working at a tech area before in your social media marketing full-time role?
No. I work for a fashion brand. So it's been pure physical products. I've never really worked for a tech company before. Always
Wow,
been retail.
that's awesome. So you kind of got experience with like tech, working in a tech startup, but then also in PM. That's amazing. Can you spell the platform, the app again?
VOWER. Vower.
Bauer. Oh, that's awesome. Hopefully a lot of our students can make use of that as well, because it sounds like such a great platform to get experience. Okay, perfect. So I just have one more question for you, and that is, what advice do you have for other students?
Okay, I said the advice I would give myself from months ago would be take the course, because or just keep searching for the right course, because I was interested in product, and I think the first step before you learn anything is the will to learn. If you don't have the will to learn, even if you are presented with the opportunity, you won't be able to utilize it. So I think the first advice I'll give is be willing to learn. Are you ready to learn? Put yourself in a mindset to learn, and then take the course. It might seem like, oh, because I when I first signed up for the entry level course, it didn't seem like something that I would understand. Like it seemed a little bit too much as someone coming from retail trying to transition into tech. Like it was seemed like, oh, it might be a little bit too much. But I was like, no, I don't. People have been doing it. People have taken this course and nothing happened to them. Like they probably excelled. I can also do it as well. So I just signed on to the platform. And when I first started, it seemed like there was so much videos to watch, like had little time, too many videos. But I needed to make a commitment. So I just had to be committed. So first of all, I'm willing to learn. I'm very willing to learn. But then having commitment to learn, like being committed to what you need to learn is another thing. So I had to replan myself and restructure myself and make way for this course. So I think the advice I'll give everyone is be willing to learn and be committed. Like just plan yourself, structure yourself. There could be lots of things that could affect your journey to learning. It could be life, it could be time, it could be different, it could be school, there could be a lot of things that's affecting you, but you need to know that you need to understand your priorities and you need to structure yourself properly and keep and just be committed, because the entry level course is not a course that you can do without being committed. There's you have there's a commitment, like I expressed earlier in the interview. You have to unlock the next stage, and if you're not committed, you cannot unlock the next stage. And what also really helped was because it was timed. There's a certain the duration, and if you don't meet that duration, you would not be able to complete the course or get a certificate. And if you are doing the entry level, because I got master scholarship, so my money wasn't at stake. If you're going through the entry level yourself, putting your money at stake, you would probably lose your chance to get a certificate and lose getting your money back. So you have to be certain that you are willing to learn and you have to create that time for it. So I think that's the advice I'll give everyone, because I don't know what other advice people would give you, but I think these two are very key, because if you are committed, then you definitely reach your end goal. Because I believe once you've learned what you need to learn, you've already achieved at the goal that you set out for yourself. You can't become a product manager by just watching, I don't know, I don't know, by not getting experience or learning. Like it's what you learn that you're able to apply into your real time roles. And if you're not able to learn it, I promise you, you probably wouldn't know that you've been, like, for example, like I did my internship as a product manager. I had no idea that I already had skills as a product manager that already that transferable into product management. But if I hadn't learned about it, I wouldn't have been conscious enough to recognize that this skill that I'm currently applying in this role as a product manager, I've always had. I've probably been I've been applying all my life throughout my different roles as social media and virtual assistant. So if you don't read and if you don't like take the courses to understand what you need to know, you won't be aware of your skills or your roles as a product manager. So if you're going to take the course, first of all, be willing to learn and just stay committed to it. And I promise you, you will enjoy the end result at the end of the day. But you just have to be committed. I think that's about it.
Thanks so much for sharing, Modesta. That's really good advice, because I think sometimes when I take courses, I just take so many because there's so much to learn. But I just really need to focus on one and be committed to it, and then can move on to the next. Like what you're doing with Google's product management course certificate, and then you're doing UX design after, and not both at the same time.
Yeah.
Perfect. And what you said also reminded me about setting SMART goals. And SMART just stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. Have you heard of those goals before?
Yes, I've been using that. So I had this problem before where I would just sign up on 4 or 5 different courses and I just crash because I couldn't do all of them at the same time. So I tried to use the SMART goals, but how it applies more to me. So what I do to myself now is each month I must complete a course, a 40 hours course. I must complete it in a month because obviously I can't commit 40 hours in a week to complete a course in a week. So what's more realistic for me is a month. So I do, let's say the modules is, let's say like for example, the project management has 4 weeks. So week 1, I do it as week 1. I'll make sure I finish as week 1. The highest that week 1 will enter maybe week 2 Monday, week 2, week 2, week 3, week 3, week 4, week 4. Is a 40 hours course. 40 hours can be achieved in 1 week, but I really rather just stretch it out to 1 month. The highest 1.5 months. So I've been doing that as that has been like my plan ever since I left. After I finished the project management course, and so far I've completed 2 other courses since then. I finished a full-time, an 8 weeks virtual assistant course, and I finished my Google digital marketing course, which because the Google digital marketing I started last year, but I was never able to finish. It was among the courses that I crashed. But after I recognized the SMART goal, I was able to finish my Google course in 1 month, and now I've started the project management course, and it's been working. Like having a much more realistic role and doing one at a time actually works. Just that you need to know all the courses that you need to learn, and just have like a to-do list or something like that. So I just mark them off. Oh, I'm done with this one. Next is this. I enroll. So for the UX, because I need might take time to get accepted, so I just apply for the financial aid ahead of time. But once I'm done with project management, that will be next. And then the next on my list would be to learn HTML and CSS. I learned the basics. Now just to go a little bit deeper into it. So yes, SMART goal has been working, and like
yeah, that's awesome. Thanks so much for sharing your story. I think what could really help is, have you heard of Notion, the note-taking app?
oh yes, but I've not really explored it. I think starting out my role into product management exposed me to some new tools I'm trying to explore. So yeah, I've heard of Notion, but I've not really explored it so well.
Yeah, it's really awesome because I use that to plan out my courses, and you can have different views. So I have a page for like product management and a page for marketing, and then you can have a timeline view and calendar view to know when exactly you're supposed to take it. And then if you click on the page, it opens, and then you can take all your course notes and upload your projects there. It's very helpful.
No, really, I'd like to learn more about that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll reach out to you to learn more about this. I think that would help me a lot too, to have all of my notes in one place. Because right now, I think that's one problem that I'm having. I have way too many notes and they're not really like organized.
Yeah, some people put their product management portfolios on there as well. There's lots of templates to get you started. And I will link Notion in the show notes so everybody listening can also make use of that. And of course, I'll send it to you, Modesta. So now that brings us to the end of our interview. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Yeah, of course. Your story has been super great. I loved all the advice that you shared. So if you who are listening, if you'd like to follow Modesta on her journey, you can check out the links to her profile, the LinkedIn profile. I'll leave it in the show notes or like the YouTube description. And then you can also visit entrylevel.net to check out our available programs, including the product management program. And as we kind of talked about during the interview, you pay and then you get a refund if you finish. So that actually motivates you to finish. So yeah, thanks for listening and good luck in your learning.
Thank you.